strengthening. And so we're going to focus on that today, because what I've found with all of us staying home for so long and not getting to get out and go places and move our bodies as much, that maybe we're losing a little bit of our strength. So we may not be as strong. And sometimes you don't really have to go to the gym and lift weights, Nikki, to get strong, even though there's nothing wrong with that. Those are all good things. But just walking around every day and opening doors and walking up steps, all of those things strengthen our bodies. And there's a lot of that stuff that we haven't been doing since we've just been at home. So today we're going to focus on strength building. So again, there's not going to really be anything new per se. There may be a few poses that we haven't done exactly like this, but they're going to be poses in a way. I need to fix my thing so it stays. Anyway, so again, nothing will be new. We may just do things a little differently than you've seen before. So find your way to your mat or on the floor, wherever you're going to practice today. I heard Christopher say he was going to need some water if he was going to do yoga, and I've got my water here, so take a sip of water maybe.
Did you get your water, Chris?
All right, then come on down, find your way to the ground, and if you can, cross your legs, and an easy seat. Remember, it's an easy seat, but it's not a slumped seat. It's sitting up tall, your spine and neck in line with your spine, your shoulders back and down, both sitting bones grounded into the mat or the carpet, wherever you're sitting, legs crossed in a comfortable way. But remember, sitting up tall, even everything should be long and tall, because that allows for the breath to move easily and freely. So just settle in where you are, sitting up tall, and start to settle into your breathing, and maybe pay attention to your breathing. Maybe close down your eyes if that's comfortable, and listen to the breath coming in and going out. And it doesn't have to be a big breath, but just listen. Get quiet for a minute and just listen to the breath coming in through your nose, and then maybe out through your mouth. In through your nose, and out through your mouth. A couple more rounds of that, just settling in. And here's the last one. In through your nose, and out through your mouth. Good. Then bringing hands down by your side, leaving your left hand on the floor next to you. Inhale your right arm up, and then exhale as you bend over to the left with that right arm reaching over. And remember, staying grounded in both sitting bones. Make sure that both sitting bones are staying grounded, that you're not tipping over. And if you just lean right here and that feels like enough of a stretch, that's okay. But if you can come a little further down and maybe even bring the elbow of your left arm to the floor. And guys, even if you're in a chair, you can do this. This side bend, this side stretch.
Good, Corey.
And then bring it back up. Bring your right hand down to the ground and inhale your left arm up. And exhale as you come down to the side again, just feeling that stretch all the way from your pinky down to your hip. Side body stretch.
Good job, Sarah.
And again, no matter where you are, if you're sitting on the floor or even if you're in a chair just watching, you can still do these stretches. All right, coming back. Bring your hands to your shoulders and we'll start twisting just a little bit, a little slower at first maybe. Inhaling one side, exhaling the other. Just getting things warmed up. And then after a few more, start to slow it down and come back to the beginning. Come back to the center. Keep your hands on your shoulders and we'll inhale, sit really tall. Exhale, tip to the left. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, tip to the right. Inhale up. Breathe out.
Come on,
Breathe
Chris.
in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Again, keep going here. Even if you're sitting in a chair, you can do this. We're just bending side to side. One more on each side. Then coming back up. So we did an active twist, but now we're going to do the typical twist that we sometimes do. So bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind you, right behind your sitting bones, and press down as you inhale and sit tall, and then exhale, breathing out as you twist around, looking over your left shoulder. Make sure you continue to breathe as you hold this twist. And remember, always be very careful. Don't ever twist too far or push too far that it hurts, but just to the point that you feel like you're getting a good twist. And then breathing it back in to the front, and then left hand on right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, sit really tall. Exhale, twisting around, looking over your right shoulder. Continue to breathe. And then coming back forward. With your legs crossed as they are, bring your hands down in front of you. Inhale, sit really tall. And exhale as you start to walk your hands forward, just coming as far as you're able. You may get to this point and think, oh, my belly's not going to let me come any further. And that's okay if you just stop right there, but if as far as you can bend over, feeling that nice stretch in your hips and all along your back. And then while you're down there, start to walk your hands off to the left. So you're still kind of a forward fold, but it's off to one side. And then walk your hands back through the center and to the right side. And then back to the front and walk it back up. All right. So wherever you are, if you are in a chair and you want to come down to the floor, but if you're already on the floor, just find your way to your hands and knees. And this is tabletop position, so you're just like a table. Your wrists are right under your shoulders, your knees are right under your hips, your back is flat, and your neck is in line with your spine, so you're not dropping your head here, and you're also not reaching way high up here yet. You're just keeping a neutral spine. So once you feel like you look like a table, then you can drop into our cat-cow. So inhale as you drop your belly, arching your back, lifting your heart. And then exhale as you round your back, hugging your belly in. Inhale. They call this cow. I never understood how this looks like a cow, but it's whatever. Then exhaling to cat, and this definitely looks like a Halloween cat. Nope, I hear a dog. Inhale. Maybe the dog heard me say cat. Cow. Exhale, cat. Continue with that cat-cow with your own breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Push the mat away. Getting your spine nice and warmed up. All right, and then find neutral again. So we're going to start our first strengthening, and this is something we've done before. I don't think, we may not have done it in a few weeks, but it's called Sunbird. And it works on a couple of different things. It works on our strength, but also on our balance. So it's a good mix between the two. So what you're going to do is raise your right arm and your left leg. Hold them both strong and steady, making sure that you're focused on grounding into your left hand and your right knee. And if you wobble and fall a couple of times, that is okay. It's all right if you touch down, just bring it back up. And then let them all down. And rest for a few breaths. Maybe shake your hips side to side. And we're going to take it to the other side. So inhale as you lift left arm and right leg. Strong and steady, stable foundation. Remember to zip up through your core. That keeps you stable and steady. Again, if you need to come down a couple of times, that is perfectly fine. A few more breaths and bring it down. Bring your knees out wide. That was already hard work. And slide back to your heels and maybe drop your head all the way down to the mat. And just breathe and relax in child's pose for a few breaths. And then coming back up, and this time we're going to do Sunbird a little bit differently. I think we've done this before as well. So when you bring it out on an inhale, then you bring elbow to knee on the exhale. So breathe in, strong and straight. Breathe out, tuck it in, elbow to knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. One more. Good job. And that was hard work. So before we transition to the other side, shake your hips side to side. And then inhale out, other side. And remember, it's the opposite. I've got my right leg and left arm. Exhale, inhale out, exhale in, inhale stretch, exhale tuck it in. Two more. All right, good job. One more rest, knees out wide, bring your hips back to your heels and just rest your head on the mat and take a few breathers. I'm going to take my glasses off. All right, so pushing back up through tabletop. Typically from here, we push up to downward facing dog. And we're going to go there in a minute. But first, I'm going to challenge you to do something that I'm not sure we've done exactly this before. But pretending like you're going to push up to downward facing dog. So go ahead and tuck your toes under, getting ready. But all you're going to do is push up, hovering your knees off the mat just a few inches. Hug in through your core, tighten that belly, make sure you're breathing. You might be shaking a little bit right now. If it's too much and if it's too hard, just drop your knees and rest a minute. But go ahead and drop your knees and rest a minute, even if you haven't done so yet. And we'll do 3 of those, so 2 more. So go ahead and tuck your toes. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, push up, hovering those knees off the mat just a little bit, just a couple of inches. So strong in your arms and in your core, even in your thighs. Everything's so strong. Keep breathing. And then let it down. Untuck your toes. Maybe shake your hips from side to side. And 1 more. Tuck your toes. Take a big breath in. And then on the exhale, push it up. Keep breathing. And then let it down. 1 more time back into child's pose. We take a few more child's poses today than normal to give ourselves breaks between our strengthening poses. All right, then coming back up, go ahead this time, inhale and then exhale as you push up into downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet out if that feels good. And then in your own time, just tiptoe your feet up to meet your hands into forward fold. Your knees can be bent or straighter, but bent is perfectly fine. So hang out in forward fold for a few breaths, maybe ragdoll, maybe shake from side to side. And then slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, rolling it up. Your head is the last thing that will rise. We'll come into our first sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift with a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank. 1 foot at a time, coming back to plank. And if you can hold plank with your hips up and your arms straight, that's great. If you need to bring your knees down, that's okay too, because this is still strengthening. I'm still using my core and my arm strength. But if you're able to hold that plank, go ahead and do so. Then lower your knees. Not coming all the way to child's pose, but just bring your hips back just a bit for a little bit of rest. Then coming back up into plank, but we're going to hold side plank. So knees down plank right now. So if you're in this position, you don't have to be up in regular plank. It's going to be a little much if we stay there. So stay on your knees and bring your weight into your left hand. I think we've done side plank before. And bring this left foot kind of out like a kickstand off to the side of the mat. Then bring it to the side. Straighten your right leg. Inhale, right arm up, and you're in side plank. If you're feeling frisky and like you'd like to push a little bit further, maybe strengthen a little bit more, you can always lift that top leg. You can even bring it behind you and hold on to it. That seems like something Nikki would like to do if he's participating. I can't tell if he is or not. But just plain old side plank is good. Your arm can be up high. It can be reaching over, whatever feels good for you in this side plank. Then bring your right hand back down, coming back into knees down plank and the other side. So right foot off to the side, kind of like a kickstand, then bring it sideways. I know my back is to you now, guys, but side plank on this side. And this is good enough, but if you wanted to lift this leg or even reach around and hold on to it for an added stretch, whatever you want to do with your side plank, and then left hand down and bring it back around. So once more, take a few breaths of just maybe shaking hips side to side. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, push up to down dog again. Inhale, right foot up, look between your hands, and then exhale as you step your foot between your hands. And remember, it's okay if you come down and then you say, oh, come on, foot. You have to help that foot up. That's okay. Sometimes we have to do that. But get into this runner's lunge, this straight leg lunge. Go ahead and lower your back knee. Again, you can always keep that knee up if you're feeling really strong today. But stay right here and get steady through your core. Put your hands on your knees and push your way up. Once you find this steadiness, inhale your arms up. Exhale them out to the side like a goalpost. Maybe bringing a back bend in here. You're still staying so strong and steady in your right thigh, zipped up through your core. And coming back down, bring left hand to the mat inside your right foot, and inhale, right hand up to the sky for a twist. So you're twisting, but you're also strong and steady in your foundation. Then coming back down once more, find that strength and steadiness. Hand on your knee, coming back up. You may feel a little wobbly. That's okay, wait till you get your balance. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale out to the side, maybe bring a little back bend. And then back down. I'm gonna turn my fan on because it's already getting hot in here. And that sun is coming through my window. All right. So sorry. Okay, so this one was, so bring right foot back. Sorry to interrupt flow. Now you're just on your hands and knees. Rest for a few breaths before big inhale, and then push right back up into downward facing dog. This time, inhale, left foot up, and exhale as you step it between your hands. Again, in this runner's lunge, you can keep your knee high or lower it down. Bring your hands to your knees, find that stability, and make your way up. Strong and steady through your core. And look, I just got wobbly because I turned to look at the screen. So if you get wobbly, it's okay. Just come down to your foundation where your knee and foot are holding you and your front foot. And then once you have that stability, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands out. Maybe bend your back just a little bit. Then coming back down, right hand inside left foot. And I'm going to be turning my back to you, but inhale, left hand up into a twist. Then back down once more, hand to the knee. Find that stability, coming back up. Inhale, arms up. exhale, bending your back just slightly. Your arms out to the side. Bring it back down. Bring left foot to meet right. Widen your knees. Slide your hips back to your heels for a child's pose. We are already working hard. Building some strength and stamina. All right, then pushing back up. Push up to plank. This is something that we've never tried before, so we're just going to try it. So coming up to plank, 1 foot at a time, bring your right foot up close to your right hand, and then push off your left foot to meet it. So you're kind of in a forward fold, but you're also kind of in a squat. It's in kind of a funny position. Then inhale, straighten your legs a little bit more, and roll it back up. Then bringing it back down to a forward fold, squat a little bit, right foot back to plank, left foot back to meet it. Then maybe lower your knees and a reverse push-up. So you're on your knees, you're coming all the way down to your belly, but do it slowly and with control. Hug in your elbows and lower all the way down to your belly. Before we come into Cobra, come up on your forearms. So your elbows are down. And it's a little bit like Cobra. Remember, this one's called Sphinx pose. I'm sorry that that's dinging. I'm not sure how to fix it from here. So inhale as you lift your heart, just shining it as forward as you can. You have a little bit of a back bend here. Few breaths. Then lower it back down flat like a pancake. Hands down by your ribs. Inhale, Cobra. Maybe hold Cobra for a few breaths. Then tuck your toes and exhale up to downward facing dog. You can bend your knees, walk your dog. Then inhale, right foot up. Exhale as you step it between your hands. Then just bring your left foot up to meet it in forward fold. Inhale all the way up, palms together, hands to heart center. So a little bit more balancing, but also strengthening. We're going to do chair pose. I think we've done that a little bit here before. And it's kind of a funny feeling pose because when you truly sit in a chair, I've got one here, you're level like this. Well, there's no way that you could get into a chair pose exactly like this. So you're always going to have a little bit of an angle with your seat. But the trick, and this is what I want you to really pay attention to. So get both feet grounded and steady on the ground. Look down at both of your feet. And the important thing is to make sure you can always see your toes. So bring your hands to heart center. Peek down, make sure you see those toes. Now for a moment, you're not going to be able to see your toes, and that's what we're going to fix. But keep your back straight. So when we sit in a chair, we don't slump like this, right? Keeping your back straight, your chest lifted. Start to bend your knees. And stop right there. Uh-oh, I already can't see my toes. So bring your hips back a little bit more, and you can see them. And then maybe sink down a little further into chair pose. Anytime that you look down and you can't see your toes, just bring your hips back further. So basically, stick your booty out a little further. So chair pose as deep as you feel comfortable. keeping your chest lifted. You can keep your hands at heart center, or this is a trick, you can twist to one side. This is called prayer twist. And your thighs might be burning, and that's okay if you need to straighten your legs for a moment and come back and join us. Keep breathing in this prayer twist, coming back up through the center and twist to the other side. And then straighten the legs, and your legs are probably screaming at you right now because your quadriceps, these muscles right here in your thighs, that is working those really hard. Okay. So this time, this is kind of like chair pose, but we're going to try a little something different. So I think I'm going to turn this way. So feet parallel, side by side. So we're going to kind of do a little bit of tree into kind of a twisted chair, if you will. So let's see. Bring the weight into your right foot. Strong and steady and stable in that right foot. Lift your left foot up. Remember how we've talked about before, a puppet string? So lifting that left foot up. Try to find balance, just holding it out like you're kind of stepping on a step. And then lower it back down as you cross it over your right foot. You see how my feet are crossed? I realize my light's not on. I don't know if that helps any, but so your feet are crossed. That might be a little tricky to get stability, so make sure that you find good footing. And then maybe bend your knees just a little bit. You can come up on the tiptoe of this cross leg. Inhale your arms out and bend over. If it feels better for you to bring your hands to heart center, that's okay. But you can bring them out. And I'm going to turn to the side. Where you are here with that left leg crossed over the other one, bring your hands back to heart center. Uncross that leg, but leave it here. Stay strong in this one leg, and I'm getting mixed up because I faced you and then I turned. But then whatever leg was crossed, you can bring it behind you for warrior three. And you can keep your hands at heart center. You can bring your hands out in front. You can wobble. You can hold the ground. You can just bring it. Warrior three can look any way you want it to look. But the key is to find some balance and stability. And wobbling and bringing your foot down is perfectly all right. So whatever your warrior three looks like right now, and then bring it back down and shake it out. And then we'll do the opposite. So whatever leg you brought the weight into first, bring it into the other one. Bend this knee, kind of like a puppet, bringing it up like you're stepping on a step. Few breaths here in that balance. And then set it back down, crossing your legs. And your feet are both steady, but when we start to bend our knees, you'll kind of come up on the your tiptoe of this cross leg. So if you want to go ahead and tiptoe, you can do that. Inhale your arms out, and then exhale as you're bending forward. If that feels too much, you can bring your hands to heart center. And then once again, I'm going to turn sideways. But that leg that's crossed, go ahead and bring it out to the side. Stay grounded in the foot that's on the ground. And then bring the other leg behind and find your warrior three, however that looks today. And you may find one side, I have more balance on one side than on the other side. It happens all the time. And then bring it back down and shake it out.
Good job.
All right. So coming back to the ground. So we've done boat pose before, and boat pose is strengthening our core in a very big way. But I thought we'd mix it up a little today, and we'll do a little bit of row your boat, which I find is just a little bit easier, bringing our arms side to side, but keeping our feet off the ground. So we'll first row our boat, and then I don't even know what you call this, but we'll do a little of this action too. So first, come into rowing your boat. So feet on the floor. Keep your hands on your knees for right now. Then tipping back, but just to the point that you're not going to fall. Tipping back, bringing your feet up. And then start to row your boat, keeping those toes off the ground. Breathing as you're rowing side to side. You can row quickly, you can row slowly. If you don't want to row, that's okay too. I just find it's harder to hold boat pose if we're not rowing. Couple more. And then, whew, let it go. Then bringing your hands behind you with your fingertips facing forward. Bring your feet up off the ground. And straighten and bend. So as you straighten your legs, come back a little bit. Bend it, coming up. So it's kind of like a sit-up, a crunch, a boat. I'm not even sure it has a name, but you should feel it in your belly, in your thighs. Whew, one more. Okay. Now bring your legs out in front of you and just shake them. At your thighs. Then one last strengthening before we come down to our backs. We've done this reverse plank before, so straighten your legs, bring your hands behind you, make sure your fingertips are pointed toward your seat. So not back this way, but this way. Your fingertips are pointed toward your seat. Inhale, sit tall, and then exhale as you lift your hips into reverse plank. Hold it for a few breaths if you can. You might feel a little shaky. And then lower it down. We'll do one more. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, push up to reverse plank. And then let it go. Then let everything to the floor. Come into whatever twist you would like. I'm going to choose one leg up straight and then drop it over to the other side for a twist. And then look over the other shoulder to further that twist. You can bend your knee if that feels better. We've done plenty of twists, so you know what feels best for you. Then bring it back up and leave it on the ground. Lift this one and drop it to the other side. Then back up, hug your knees into your chest, cross your ankles, and maybe rock and roll if that feels good. If it doesn't, and you just want to rock side to side, that's okay too. And with rocking side to side, you can bring in happy baby. Whatever. Right now, if your body feels like you want to do a full body stretch, If your body feels like it needs a little bit more twisting, if you just want to hug your knees into your chest, you worked really hard today, so your body might be feeling a little bit different than it sometimes does. And just listen to your body. Our bodies tell us what they need, and sometimes we just have to listen to them and follow along. And sometimes that's just laying flat on the ground. But whatever position you've taken, go ahead and relax. Bring your feet out. Just let them flop open. Arms down by your side. Palms facing up. And just relax. We worked really hard. We tensed up so many muscles that maybe you haven't been working lately, but let everything go now. Take a big breath in through your nose and sigh it out and you're out. Let's try that again. Take a big breath in through your nose and exhale with a big sigh. And just settle into that sigh. Settle into this final Shavasana for a few more rounds of breath. Just relax and all of that hard work is so good and so important, but it's also imperative that we always bring it back down and settle back down and come back to our breath. And listen to our breath. In your own time, if you want to bring a full body stretch in now, if you want to hug your knees back into your chest, if you want to roll to one side, whatever feels the best for you for coming back to an easy seat, you do that right now. And once everyone is back up to an easy seat, we will wrap things up. So hands down by your side. Inhale, arms all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. And
Namaste.
Namaste.
thanks, guys. Good job. Okay, so I'm anxious to hear. How was that? It was different.
Like you at some points.
Huh?
I didn't like you.
That's okay. I can handle that.
That was good.
Hi,
It was
Molly.
strong.
Hey, Miss Molly. Hey,
Good
Hey.
Stacy.
What kind of wobbly?
My bad thing. My
Hey, Miss
hand.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Really?
My little sister, do you remember Becca Wilkins, my little
Yeah.
sister?
Yes.
She was going to come and join us with yoga, but I was surprised, but she went down there. So maybe
Man.
next Tuesday she can maybe join us.
Maybe next time.
Yep.
I gotta tell you, don't pick
You
me.
might remember her.
Yes, I do remember her.
I mean, one day you're.
Hey, John, when I asked how it was for everybody, did I hear you say it was wobbly?
It was a little bit wobbly.
And that, you know what? That's okay. It's always okay to be wobbly. We're such strong, we have strong bodies, but at the same time, we have our limits. And sometimes we do something that we think, ooh, I can't do that. And that's always okay if you feel a little wobbly, if you bring your feet down or your arms down or whatever the position it is. So always know that wobbly is okay. All right?
Well, this is noodle soup, and I've been working with tomato.
Hey, Miss Molly.
Yes. Yes, Christopher. What you got?
We're not puppet like Jesus. Yeah.
No, we're not, Chris.
What'd he say?
We're not perfect like Jesus is.
No, none of us are. No.
Am I right?
You are so right. You're so right. So that's the beauty of yoga and any other exercise that you do, that you should never expect it to be perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. And like I was saying, sometimes with our balancing poses, on one side, you're like, oh man, that warrior 3 was so strong and I held it. And then on the other side, you're like, what is wrong with me? I don't have any balance at all.
Oh, kitty flap.
Huh?
Matt Chris.
My kitty crabs. Hi.
Hey, Molly.
Hey,
Yes.
Amy.
Did
Take you the.
do you saw those pictures I
lemons,
sent you?
Please.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I would like to share that with everybody because it's so good. So Kinley,
What?
Kinley has this picture. Let's see if everybody can see it. Oh, can you see
Oh,
it?
dear, Fred.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
Hey,
It's a
hey,
unicorn
Amy.
that's doing
Oh,
yoga.
God.
I love it.
Is that
Um,
a
All right. Well, hey, friends, listen, I've got to go meet my mom because that's become part of my new reality is helping her out. So I got to go take care of my mom and have some lunch with her,
Good.
check in on her. So I'm going to go do that. But y'all keep talking, all right?
Will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, Molly.
Molly.
Bye, Molly.
Bye.
That's Molly.
My bell.
So now,
Hey, Nikki.
okay.
My heart.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna be a little sore tomorrow, I think.
And me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That was hard.
I feel like the hardest.
Hey, Miss Stephanie, you know what my brother used to say?
Hang on one second. Let Miss Marcy finish.
Okay.
My hardest move was the reverse, where you had to put your hands behind you and then lift up the reverse push up or something. No, that's not my move.
Like I can't do that even a little bit.
No. You know,
Do
it
that
was like
either.
jerky. I was like John said, I was very wobbly.
Oh,
Hey, Chris.
Stella,
What
what
do
is
you
it?
want to go?
Yes.
And
Amy.
My brother used to say, suck it up.
Don't ask
My
for
brother used to
numbers.
say, suck it up.
Numbers.
They said that. She said, do not ask for numbers here.
Okay. I
I
got
like
the.
No, you can't ask for numbers. No.
Yes. And so every time I'm on the floor trying to do that stuff on the floor, this is crawling all over me.
Oh.
So how am I supposed to do a plank with this?
Well, just put her on the. I'd say put her on her chair, up like on a chair, so she won't, So
I know.
bother you.
Anytime I'm on the floor, Charlie Brown thinks he needs to be on me.
Hey, Belle.
So that was my down dog.
Hey,
What, Nikki?
Call on date.
Be your best friend.
You going on a date?
Who?
date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mom.
With who, Nick?
When it
Okay, that sounds fun.
compatibility matters. That's when
Priscilla, do you have a TV on?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
keep hearing.
Yeah.
You won't never guess who texted me this morning.
What?
Lindsay.
What?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, I wish
Yeah,
Lindsay
where's
was here.
I'm going to text her to join us tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Has anyone heard from Thomas lately?
Yeah. Hey, look, John, I got something to show you. I keep forgetting.
Ooh.
That's Amy. She got a phone.
Right. You're not supposed to ask for numbers.
All right, John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
No. 3.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, I'm going to put everybody on mute so we can hear it. Because if anybody talks, it'll like blank it out. All right, so I'm going to mute you too, John, but this is Let's see if I can get this to work on here. Dan? Okay, wait. Let's see. Oh gosh, this is gonna be hard. We'll have to start again. Okay. I know. It's hard when you get put on the spot.
Wave at him. Just wave at him.
Wave.
What? Yeah. Okay. Hey, John.
Wave at him, Tommy. Wave and say, hey, John. Oh, I know.
Wave at the camera.
Look at Keely. Tell Keely. Tell Keely, hey, John.
Hey, Joanne.
There you go. Look, what do you think, John?
That's
That was cool.
Do you want me to text it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was good. But you know how Thomas gets nervous sometimes when he gets put on the
Right.
spot?
Hmm.
So when I asked him and he noticed I was video and he got camera shy.
Aw.
Aw.
You know,
I do
sometimes,
Until we get back
sometimes
home.
when,
Sometime.
sometimes
Do you
when you
want
start
me
getting
to-
video, you get nervous.
I do that sometime.
If we do get back, he won't be camera shy anymore.
No, he won't. He won't. So that's what he did when we took him his Chick-fil-A on Friday.
What?
That
Friday.
was awesome.
It took him a second, but he got it out.
Last Friday when you got Chick-fil-A.
Good. Bye,
The one
everybody.
that you called me and gave.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the poor Tommy, my friend.
Yeah, that was Tommy. He looked good. He seemed like
Yeah.
he was feeling good that day.
How
Yeah.
is Thomas?
He's good.
Tell him not to hate that time.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
too.
And
Okay,
me too.
Okay.
Especially-
I'll tell him
Bye.
everybody said hey.
Okay, yay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great. and
And-
great.
Bye, everybody.
bye,
That was
Chris.
awesome.
Bye, Chris.
Text
Bye,
me
Miss
if
Margaret. Stephanie.
What is it?
Bye,
Okay.
Amy.
Are we gonna do
That's,
one big? Are we gonna do one big group goodbye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sarah. Bye,
Bye.
Priscilla.
Bye.
Bye, John,
Bye,
Chris,
Priscilla.
Lori,
Bye,
Nikki,
Nikki.
Bye, honey.
Kelly Crab.
Bye, honey. Bye.